Scalp camouflage is basically creating the illusion of density by adding thousands of dots of little pigments to the scalp, reducing the lighting contrast, making the hair appear thicker and fuller. Our guest that we have here today is already a previous patient of ours. He had a hair restoration that maximized his density, but a little bit of lighting contrast would still reflect off the scalp. Therefore, we recommended the scalp camouflage procedure for him to eliminate that and make his hair appear thicker and fuller. The scalp camouflage needle is similar to that of a tattoo needle. It's a three-prong that creates the perfect size of a hair follicle. Unlike tattoo ink, this one will eventually fade over time, blending back into your normal skin color as the body metabolizes it. All of our artists are trained on how to blend the pigments to match the client's existing hair color. It can go along a gray scale from almost black to almost white. The most common type of hair loss is known as androgenic alopecia, and it's the body's reaction to a hormone called dihydrotestosterone. What that does is it basically miniaturizes the hair follicles over time to the point of impeding baldness. The backs and the sides aren't compromised by the DHT, therefore those hairs don't miniaturize. Therefore, looking through the scope today, we saw some active miniaturization present, so we're going to mask that with the scalp camouflage and make it appear thicker. There are numerous areas that you could do a scalp camouflage into, such as areas of less density, scarring from previous hair restorations. The crown, we avoid the hairline typically just because it doesn't look as natural. Even as we do a feathering technique towards more exposed places, we still try to avoid the hairline. Each session takes about 2 hours on average. It takes a couple of sessions to get it looking perfect. But yeah, it's far less invasive and far less involved than some of the other treatments in the hair restoration service. Typically lasts between 5 to 10 years, depending on a certain number of characteristics like sunlight exposure and the body's process of metabolizing the pigments, but most people can plan on getting between 5 and 10 years. Each client receives post-care instructions once they leave one of our sessions. Most importantly, things like don't wash your hair for 48 hours, no chlorinated pools for a certain amount of time, and avoid direct sunlight.